Well, hey, it's Marilyn Price. Are you ready to build a house with me? This is the house that I built just for you. And it's built out of little golden books, of course. I am about to come down towards the end of my little golden book series with a really wonderful story that will teach us a little bit. And hopefully, you'll just get right to it as soon as we hang up after a good night's sleep, of course. This book was published in 1982, and now our Little Golden Books are being published as the Big Little Golden Book, and they come from a company in Racine, Wisconsin, and they're called the Western Publishing Company, which eventually, through the course of their history and still do, have acquired a variety of things. And I know that you've read things like comic books, and I think I've said enough. Books, still books for kids. What I learned when I researched them is this whole Golden Book series, which started in 1942, and our book here today, oh yes, that's it. The House That Had Enough was published in 1982 in Racine, Wisconsin. And then they went on to publish others too. But the initial concept of books for a quarter was supposed to be books for 50 cents, which was far below the market in those days of anywhere from $3 to $5. But the publisher, then, who was Random House, said, we want more kids to read these books. So let's charge a quarter, but print twice as many. And maybe not only will more kids get them, and adults, of course, but maybe we'll sell them all out. So instead of printing 25,000 books of each one of the initial 12, they published 50,000, and within 3 months, they sold 1.5 million books. So I think they did okay, and they were right as they read their audience. So I'm going to switch my camera over, actually, our camera over here, and show you the house I built out of golden books. And they're the ones that are going to help us tell the story. Every once in a while, I may show you a picture from the book, but mostly I want you to think of each of these books as a character in our story. So we're going to swivel the camera around. See this incredible house I got to build out of books. What could be better than building a house of books, right? And let's see, we got to get it just exactly right for you. I've seen it, but you have not. And there it is. Each golden book ready for the telling. And if you're ready, I'm going to tell. Now watch the books. See if they can have movement. But I bet they can. I just bet they can. Let's get you over towards the middle. Oh, that is so much better. So for those of you who are just listening, I am moving the camera over. And here is our book, The House That Had Enough. I'm going to start you out by showing you the heroine of our story. And I bet many of you will be able to resonate with her activities. This is Anne. And the story starts like this. One morning, Anne woke up on the floor with a big bump. She looked up. Her bed was standing over her. I've had enough, the bed said. You never make me. You jump up and down on me. I'm going someplace where people will take better care of me. And with that, the bed ran out of the room. Anne was very surprised. What a strange way to start the day, she thought. Suddenly, Anne's dirty clothes stood up. Her favorite shirt said, You wear us every day. You get us dirty and tear holes in us. You don't fold us or wash us. You just throw us on the floor. We've had enough too. Let's go, clothes. And out of the room they went. Anne sat down on the floor. She hugged her pillow close to her. I suppose you're going to leave me too, she said to the pillow. Oh, no, you've always been nice to me. You hold me at night. I'll stay with you, Anne. And Anne said, thank you, and went into the bathroom to brush her teeth. But when she reached for her toothbrush, it leaped off the shelf. You don't rinse me out. You have little pieces of toothpaste in me. Oh, and by the way, said the toothpaste, I get dry and crusty because you don't put my cap on. And you left the room and reached for the soap. It said, you leave water in my dish. I'm soggy all the time. You don't hang us up to dry, said the towels. We're always damp. And off they ran. The toothbrush, the toothpaste, the soap, and the towels ran out of the bathroom. By this time, Anne was getting hungry, so she went into the kitchen. She wanted breakfast. She wanted to make a peanut butter and pickle sandwich. But when she reached for the refrigerator door, the refrigerator jumped away. Anne, you let milk spill in me? I smell terrible. You left the lid off the pickle jar. I'm leaving. Anne looked around the kitchen. The spoons, the knives, the forks, the dishes, the glasses had all lined up on the floor. I suppose you're leaving too. You never wash us after you use us, said one of the spoons. We can't take it anymore. And off they ran. Anne sat down next to the pillow. Now what? And off came her favorite doll, leading all of her toys in a wagon. You never put us away. We get stepped on. It just isn't safe here. The doll ran out the front door, pulling the wagon with her. Anne followed the doll to the door and looked out, and there was a hammer. You used me to hammer the sidewalk. I'm out of here. Anne saw the garbage cans, her bike, a can of paint following the hammer. You pound us like drums. You drive me down the stairs. You use me to paint the front lawn, the can of paint said. Anne and the pillow went outside and watched the hammer and the can of paint disappear. And then they heard a terrible crunch, and they looked and they saw that the house was standing up. You slam my doors, you leave my windows open, you don't help my paint. I'm gonna leave too. And Anne was so distraught. I had no idea everyone was so mad at me. I can take better care of my things, honest. The house said, well, I do feel kind of empty. If you promise to take better care of your things, maybe I can convince everyone to come back. I promise I will. I promise, said Anne. And so the house went around the corner, and we don't know how, but he convinced the others. And when they all came back, they went into their own spaces, each and every one of them. The paint cans, the hammer, the garbage cans, the refrigerator, the forks and the knives, even the spoons, all of the toys, and her favorite doll came back in and sat where they had been. The pillow had never left, and Anne sat down next to her and watched and marveled at all of her things that were returning, the toothpaste and the toothbrush. Even the bed took its place where Anne believed it belonged. But that was not the end of our story, for Anne, our friend Anne, went to each part of the house and cleaned it up appropriately. She made the bed, she did the laundry, she put and scrubbed down the refrigerator until everything was in its proper place. Anne went to bed that night very tired, and she huddled in with her pillow and said, I do so like when everything is in the right place. Don't you? And the pillow said, I do. Have a good night's sleep, Anne. And Anne did. Very good. As should you. And while you're cuddling in to have a good night's sleep, don't forget to read a book, listen to a story, but remember especially to live happily ever after. Thank you for visiting the Mentor Project. You can see this video on Facebook and LinkedIn. You can listen to it on our podcast. And most especially, you must remember to live happily ever after and put away your things. I'm going to do that right now.